was sitting here thinking, and I found myself being grateful for the people who came into my life and made me wish that I would have done something different. Now, this might sound crazy, but it's coming from a place of maturity. It's coming from a place of growth. It's coming from a place of evolving. It's coming from a place of expansion. And if you can find yourself in that place, then you're in a good space. I'm grateful for the people who came in my life that make me wish that I'd done something different. And I say that because I ain't always been a saint. And I ain't talking to no saints. You hear me? I ain't talking to no perfect people. Because we haven't been perfect people, let's be honest. And by the way, happy new moon, everybody. I hope y'all gathering up this 12-12 frequency. You know, get your rituals in, get your affirmations in, get your decrees and declarations in, get in what you got to get in during this new moon. But as I was saying, and the reason that I was saying it is because I got scars too, just like you. I got things that I've been through, situations and circumstances that have been difficult for me throughout my life, just like you. But what made me different is I own it. Not only do I own it, I make it look good the way I do. And for those of us who had the ability to do that, to transmute and transform our experiences into a better us, that's not easy to come by. Especially when it's so easy to get stuck in the situations and circumstances that occurs. But for those of us that have, we're a problem because we're a solution. But it's the balance that makes the difference. See, if you anything like me, you've been misjudged. You've been studied wrong. You've been ostracized. But who would you be without those things? See, when it comes to being happy, when it comes to being honest, when it comes to being afraid to laugh at yourself, at your mistakes, at your errors, when it comes to being unafraid to speak to what needs to be spoken to, when it comes to actions and deeds that don't reflect what or who you are, as well as the things that do, how much can you check off? How much can you check off? See, for some of us, we done worked our butts off all our life to get healed. And for a lot of us, we ended up being the only ones in the gym. We didn't start out as the only ones in the gym, but by the time practice was over, which practice never over, because we still in it, we was the only one in the gym. You don't listen, you're gonna miss it. I say that because knowing is an experience that we get to experience, and anything that we come about to have the opportunity to know. And we can't know anything without having experiences, or without having had an experience to know. Even the things that wasn't learned during this arrival, I'll say. Because we all know somebody that know things, unless you that somebody, but we all know somebody that know things that that they haven't learned since being here in this incarnation. Pardon me. Everything we experience have been opportunities to control our energy better, if not have more control over our life. And a lot of us had to be put in difficult situations so we could put the things that was the causation of those difficult situations in our rear view, so we could take the key of our own car. So I say, what parts of yourself have been denied? Or what parts of yourself have you ignored? Because those are parts that need to be confronted. Those are parts that need to be addressed. And those are parts that need to be healed. And shadow work will be our best friend in doing so. For those of us who currently at work in ourselves, we already know and experiencing the truth of what I just said. What's been part of the success, I'll say, is, or what is the greatest success in what I said, is that we accomplish it within ourselves. We discovering or rediscovering the free spirit that we identified with once ago. We identifying with the happiness that we once knew. We identifying with being more cheerful that we once knew. See how everything that I'm speaking to, I'm speaking from a space before what we got into. I'm going back into I'm tapping into our inner child energy. The very thing that a lot of us have lost contact with. And for some, have totally lost connection to. We finding more peace at will. And it's a pleasure to find out, for those of us who can, it's a pleasure to find ourselves not shying away from emotional conversations, because we have come or been made aware that the emotional conversations is the most beneficial ones to have, regardless of how uncomfortable or unwanted it may be. You know, we know that now is the time to deal with what needs to be dealt with. And for those of us who are unsure, you'll know when to know. You'll know when you need to know. But you're going to have to trust yourself. You're definitely going to have to trust yourself. And how you go about what happens will hold more weight than what happens. I can't say that enough. This is where a lot of us got disconnected at. We've been so programmed into what happens and had no awareness of how we should be handling what's occurring. We wasn't taught that. Or then again, we was, but we ain't had, for most of us, we ain't had good teachers, you know, because panic occurs under pressure. I just say it like that. But how we go about what happens holds more weight than what's occurring. So I say stay on point. Know that you're good enough. Tell yourself I love you a little more, if you haven't. And do whatever you can to be the best you at every moment that you have a minute to do that. No matter what happens or has happened, we don't want to be repeating any unhappy event. You hear me? So keep moving through the cycles. Stay encouraged. Feel good for no reason at all. Stay motivated. Remember, everybody play a part. It ain't always them, but it ain't always you. But it's gonna take balance to move through it and keep moving through it. I ain't come to say much, just a few things. And it ain't never no time to not be doing some shadow work. Stillness in abundance, love and light, health and wholeness. Stillness in abundance, love and light, health and wholeness. Stillness in abundance, love and light, health and wholeness. Today's icon is gonna be a light bulb. So y'all place a light bulb in the comment section. And y'all see me look around just pulling, I'm pulling. But today's symbol will be the a light bulb, because we want to keep our light on. Thanks for the likes, unlikes, shares, new subscribers, donations, love offerings, purchases, so forth and so on. And I love y'all, family. Salud.